Thank you for tuning into Vehicle Spec. Today we have a 2026 Range Rover Evoque S in Fuji White with the ebony interior. Now there's two packages on the Evoque. You can start off with this S or go up to the Dynamic SE. Now this Evoque do have a few options on it. Starting off with the black exterior package, you can see it blacks out some of the trim pieces. Starting off with the front fascia here, you do have the standard LED headlamps and the signature LED daytime running lights. Now these are auto leveling and you have the auto high beam assist that's standard on the Evoque. You do have the active grille shutters as well behind the gloss black grille. On the lower portion here, it is flat black and you see a camera right there because this one does have the optional 3D surround camera, which is standard on the SE, but it's optional on the S. You also get LED fog lights on the lower portion. The Evoque S comes standard with 18s, but this one does have an optional 20-inch rim. These are the 1085 style rims that are gloss black. And because you have the black exterior styling package, it comes with black calipers as well. And I believe this has the black protection package on as well. So you can see the black wheel locks and the splash guards as well, and a few other goodies. Speaking of options you can add on the Evoque, this also has the optional black roof. It looks good with the white, with the Fuji White. Now you do have a power folding mirrors, and because you have the 3D surround view, you have a camera on there, and these also will have approach lights too. So when you walk up to it, it'll automatically shine a little approach light on there. And you do have the flush style door handles. You can see they're in right now, but once you unlock it, they both pop out and the mirrors unfold. Come along to the rear, the first thing you're gonna notice is the LED taillight, but you do get this aggressive window spoiler that's fully gloss black as well, matches with the roof, which is nice. You get a gloss black shark fin style antenna. You get a LED brake light back here as well too, that kind of go from here all the way to right there. So there's a wide strip, smaller window back here because like I said, this is Range Rover's smallest SUV. The styling just give you baby Range Rover. You do have full LED brake lights, turn signals, and reverse lights, and you get that slim style, which is nice. You can see Range Rover spelled back here is all blacked out. LED license plate bulb, and not too much emblems in the rear. You do have Evoque in black, part of that blackout package, styling package. And the lower portion right here is half flat black, and you get this kind of diffuser style that's gloss black, and then you have more sensors in the rear bumper. Your reverse lights are tucked down here, which are LEDs. This is the key for the Evoque. It's standard Range Rover key. So you can see it says Land Rover on the back, and it got some heft to it. You have lock, you have unlock. You do have your lights, power tailgate. You have your hazards or your panic button, and you do have a emergency key in the fob as well. I think you squeeze this little stuff there. You squeeze a little button right there. You can take the emergency key out. And as you saw I did earlier, you do have smart entry on all 4 door handles. So push this guy, or you can just hit unlock on your key, or you can set up the auto unlock and it'll open for you. Now this is the ebony interior. Now if I were to get one of these, wouldn't be my color combination, but there's plenty different options you can dress up your Evoque. On the door card here, you have soft touch up here. It's like a textured, right, soft, and then this is like really soft. It's almost like a, I can't even explain what type of material, like a velvet type material. Gloss black on the door. You see your door handle there. Auto up down for all 4 windows. Child lock, of course. You have your power window switches here, lock, unlock. 3 position memory seats. I believe that's only on the driver door. And this does have the Meridian Premium speaker as well. And you do have some additional storage down in there. Another speaker there. And you have your tweeter for your Meridian system. Now the side mirrors are heated and they're auto dimming only on the driver's side, which is a nice feature. So somebody have the high beams on at night, they don't blind the driver. The seats are leather grained, but only on the front facing, so not on the back of the seats. And on the driver, it is a 12-way power adjustment. On the passenger seat, it will be a 10-way power adjustment. Before we jump in, you have your standard door sill here. Range Rover actually calls it a unique name for it. Can't get it on top of my head, but once you get in here, nice place to be. Easy step in, like I said, it's a smaller SUV, decent ground clearance. Push button start, so foot on brake, push the button over here, and it whirls to life. Let's go ahead and close the door because it is a hot day today. If you're not familiar with Range Rover's interior, a lot of the models look very similar to this, especially with the infotainment display, and Range Rover is going for a more minimal look. Standard is a heated leather wrapped steering wheel, and it is a power adjustment. It's on the right side, which is a little bit different. And you can even switch it to auto or just manual for the adjustment. So it can auto adjust for you, which is a cool feature. It is heated, like I said. Buttons over here. You have some kind of like dark gloss black, piano black type finishes. And it looked like it's touch sensitive, but these are actual buttons, but you can actually press it. But they're not separated like one piece. Standard on the Evoques is this 12.3 high definition interactive driver display. So it's full LED. You have some customizations that you can do. On the left side of the steering wheel, you do have phone controls. You do have this little diamond. That's a shortcut button. You have another shortcut to all your safety features. You have your volume rocker. You have this little selection button here. And then you have your next and back. Also, if you go to the menu, it will change out the layout. So for example, let's see if I select something in here, you'll see now it changed to this 4-way directional pad as well too that controls there. So it's like a 2-way type unit that's on this left side, which is cool. Voice command here. And of course, leather wrapped airbag, Range Rover right there in the middle. Not flat bottom or anything like that. And on the right side, you're gonna have some of your safety features and some of your cruise features. So like your lane keeping assist, your adaptive cruise control, your heated steering wheel button is over here, resume, set, all your standard goodies. You do get your power shifters behind you, and I believe these are actual, these are actual metal power shifters that can control the 9-speed automatic transmission. And on your stock over here, you have your signal and your headlights. So you have auto, parking, on, off. You do have auto high beam assist, and on the right side, you have your wipers. So you have high, low, auto, and off. You do get rain sensing windshield wipers standard on the S, and you do have your rear wiper controls back here. On your driver display, you can view different information. So you have info panel, and if you go in here, you can view different like medias or trip summary, your 4x4 information, driver assist. You can have a clock, which is cool. Empty panel if you don't want anything, navigation, and what you're listening to. You also have display layout, so you can kind of decide how you want it to look. So right now it's in 2-dial. You do have the 1-dial, which is interesting. You can put into map, so just have the map right in front of you once you have a destination in there, which is cool. You have media first, so it'll still give you a speedometer and everything, but just a little bit less information. So you have a lot more customization in the Evoque, which is nice, and driver assistance, which is gonna rely on mostly the safety features. So you have plenty of different options. But when I click the little directional pad, you can hear it. You have a trip selection. Oh, I passed that one. You have trip selection here too. So trip A, trip B, or you can have it trip auto, and then you have vehicle settings. So in here, you can go to tire pressure. Look how they spell tire. That's pretty interesting. TPMS load settings, auto, apply 4x4 info, and show warning. So if you want certain things on and off, you can. And a few clicks just to show you your tire pressure, which is interesting. But let's go back and get out of there. And then you can go back to what you're viewing. So from here, like I said, you can view different information. I'm gonna leave it on music right now. You have a digital tachometer on the right, speedometers on the left with your speed limit sign as well. And speaking of speed limit sign, there's plenty of safety features that's standard on your Evoque. So you have adaptive cruise control, you have lane keeping assist, you have blind spot assist, you have front traffic monitor, emergency braking, driver condition monitor. Pretty much it'll know if you're falling asleep and recommend you to pull over, take a break, and traffic sign recognition that you see down there below the speedometer. And for your pedals, you have standard pedals, gas and brake, and your dead pedal, and then you pop the hood from right here. You can see right behind the door. I guess they assume you're not gonna be popping the hood yourself on this guy. Let's take a look at the infotainment display. It is a 12.3 touchscreen. Now, Range Rover has been going with a different styling where they're trying to make it very minimal. So you notice the screen, it used to have, I believe these used to have a double display. The second display had like your climate control and your all-terrain controls and your heated seats and everything. Now everything's all in the display. So a lot of people are saying that they don't like it. Some are saying they do like it. I think Range Rover wants you to set all your stuff and then that's it. Set everything to auto. You don't have to touch it ever again. On the left side of the screen, you have some shortcuts, and the right side of the screen. So if I want to change my temperature, I pretty much touch that and it'll open up my heated seats, you know, my fan speed, my temperature. I can even slide this guy right here to change my temperature. We don't leave that guy on 59, but I have the different modes. But this is for your car mode, not for your climate control. We'll look at that in a second. You have your front defrost, your rear defrost, and you have your navigation, music, and then all apps there. And on the right side, you do have your temperature for the passenger, and this is your volume for your climate control. So let's say you want to do a quick, you know, go up, go down, you have to use that, or you have to use a rocker switch. I know a lot of people are used to a knob. I'm used to having just like a turn knob, but it's all on the display there. You have your parking cameras there and settings. The first column will have shortcuts there. You have navigation here, and you do have phone on this portion over here. Now you will have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you do have it wireless. Range Rover calls it like an online pack with data connected or something like that. But if you swipe over, you can have your media there, and then you have your slope assist, which is cool because this is a Range Rover, so you have plenty of different off-road goodies just built into the Evoque. You have compass here, you have your wheel information there, weight sensing for water, which is cool. You have your energy impact, you know, what you're using most energy in your vehicle, and your driving style as well. And then you can customize this display with that pencil there. You have multiple different profiles you can set to, so you have that on the top left there, and if I hit all apps there, it'll bring up everything. So you can see navigation, accounts, your seats, your climate control, valet mode, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, cameras, eco data, pretty much everything, phone, media, if you don't want to have to cycle through those columns, because once you click on the column, then it brings up more information that you can choose from, as more options you can choose from as well too. So media, vehicle health, even the weather, you have that all built in. And below my driver's temperature over there, you have this mode right here with the car. If you slide it, you can choose off-road modes, auto terrain response, eco, comfort. With auto terrain response, it'll automatically adjust what mode you should be in based on your driving services, which is a cool feature. But we're gonna go ahead and leave this guy, and I'll leave it in comfort there. So plenty of different options, plenty of different configurations. It is kind of like a floating tablet style, so you can take a look at that guy. Some people will like this, some people won't like this, but to each his own, I guess. Now down below that, you do have wireless phone charging standard, so you have the pad right there, some storage there, one USB-C there that's hidden there, and you close that guy up. And then you have your shifter here, so you do have a button on the back that you click to shift into the different gears, and then park has a dedicated button here. Earlier I mentioned that this Evoque has some packages on there. One thing that's not standard on the S is the 3D or surround view camera, but this one has an option. So if I go in reverse, it'll probably beep at me. There we go. But you have your surround view camera, and you also have your backup camera there. And this is an option you can get on your S. I believe that's standard on the Dynamic SE, but it's optional here on the S. And you can see you have a dedicated shortcut right there for your camera. Your reverse neutral drive, slide over to the right for sport. And you have two cup holders here. You have a soft touch arm rest here, the single stitch. And you can either open one side at a time, or you can open both sides at the same time. In here you do have another USB-C port. It is lined in here with felt, so not gonna scratch anything you put in there. Not too big, but not too small either. And then on the center console here, all of this is like hard touch down here, but there's no like pass through or anything like that. You do have your glove box on this side, and it is not lockable. It is damp and lined with felt, which is nice. You have a pen holder, which is nice in there, like some card holder in there, so some storage. It's kind of like a bin style, but not too big, not too small. Above your touchscreen display, you do have an auto dimming rear view mirror, which is nice. Home link is also standard, so you have 3 different options you can save. Above that, you do have your controls up here. So you do have LED lighting, and there's no button. You kind of just touch the light and it comes on, kind of like that, which is nice. It's all touch sensitive. You do have your wrench button over there. I think if you use that button, it'll call someone to like roadside assistance for the Range Rover. And you do have a SOS, so like emergency operator. And then you have your moonroof controls here, because a panoramic moonroof is standard on pretty much both Evoques. When I got in earlier today, it opened automatically for me, which is nice. But I'll open up the vent. I won't open it because it's a hot day today. But this front portion does open, so it's not a fixed glass, because I know that's popular nowadays. Just have a fixed roof and don't have the option to open the glass. But you do get that to let in some air. Pretty airy in here as well. But we're gonna go ahead and close that up because I ain't trying to cook in here. There is no sunglass holder in the Evoque. So you do have a visor here, and you do have LED. It's LED, yeah, LED lighting. The camera looks yellow, but it's LED in person. You do have one for the driver as well, which is nice touch. You gotta remember, this is the entry-level SUV in the Range Rover lineup, so you're not gonna get all the goodies that you can get on some of the higher models. So let's jump out of here and let's take a look at the rear passengers. And with those flush door handles, you can see they pop out when it's unlocked, and once you start driving, it'll go back into place. So on the rear doors here, there's no peasant blockers or anything. It is soft touch back here. This is soft touch, just like the driver as well too. You get a tweeter with that. When we look at the brochure, I'm gonna tell you how many speakers and wattage a system is for that Meridian sound system. Can't remember on top of my head. But you have a gloss black down back here. You have your door handle here, window switch. All real simple back here. You have one storage down there and a speaker back here. I forgot to mention that the driver and passenger seats are perforated as well. The perforation falls in the rear seats, but you can see it's a small back seat. This is how wide the door opens. Let me go back and show you guys. Not too wide, nothing too crazy. And I do have the driver's seat all the way back, and you can see there's like barely any space for my legs if I get in there. So let's try it. Let's try to sit behind myself. So I can fit my legs behind myself with the seats all the way back, but your knees will touch the back of the seat. But you do get a mat pocket behind the driver. You get one behind the passenger as well. You get ear vents back here as well. And you do have USB-C ports in the back. And I believe this is a power outlet down here. Let me see what yeah, power outlet down there as well. But the rear is a nice place to be, especially if you open up the panoramic moonroof. The shade lets in some light, which is nice. You do get an armrest back here that folds down. Part of that leather grade as well. You do have a cup holders, soft touch where you rest your arm, and you do have your seats here. The headrest can fold down so you can see, because that is a small little glass back there. And you have your tethers down here for your booster seats or your car seats. You just pull up the plastic and then they have the exposed tethers there. I like when they're just exposed without having this plastic, so that way you don't have to worry about putting this back or losing it. But the rear seats, nothing too crazy. LED lighting back here as well too. Just push that guy and it comes on. Take a look at the driver and passenger seat. A very minimal look in the Evoque. Some people like it, some don't. I think it makes the interior looks cleaner, but now you just don't have a bunch of buttons anymore. Everything is on the screen. They kind of carved into the back of the driver's seat to make more legroom though, because even though the seat is all the way back, my feet still fit underneath the floor and everything is still fine. So that's cool, but I was able to get out of there. So you do get a power tailgate. Push of a button, pretty quiet, and it opens really fast too. And you can see you don't have that much storage back here in the Evoque, small SUV life. Now it does come with a cargo cover that you can remove, and then it does come with a spare tire as well with your tools. So that's nice. You don't get like a flat fix kit. This Evoque also has the emergency pack you can option into your Evoque as well. You have your front license plate, tow hook for the front, and then it gets regular carpet floor mat standard. And you do have a power outlet back here, grocery hooks back here. I think one on both sides. And I don't see any interior lighting back. Oh, it's right here. Okay, LED interior lighting. I'm about to say, they don't give you no light, they gotta give you a light. The rear seats do fold down in 3 different pieces. So for example, we'll come back here, and on the shoulder, you have to pull and drop it down. Now I wonder if I flip down the, there we go. Now it does not fold down flat, and it's actually pretty high if you can look at it from my angle here. So it doesn't go down flat at all, but you can fold this piece separate if you wanted to. Let's see if I can do that. I think you have to pull this piece back here. There we go. So you can fold that guy down if you need a pass through and have these 2 seats up. Plenty of configuration, but not the biggest in the world. We're gonna jump out of here and go over the brochure so I can show you guys some color options, interior color options, and some packaging you can add to your Evoque S. When I was looking at these columns, it kind of reminded me that one thing with Range Rover is you get many off-road like standard features, like just standard. So this will have terrain response too, which will pretty much monitor your driving conditions, and it'll automatically like select the most suitable mode for you automatically. You have all-terrain process on this guy, torque vectoring, low traction launch, hill descent control, hill launch assist, efficient driveline, dynamic stability control, electronic traction control, road stability control, all of the off-road goodies you will want in your smaller package SUV that's standard on your Evoque. But we're gonna jump out of here and let's take a look at the brochure, and like I said, go over some more goodies you can get on your Range Rover. We are making history today. This is actually my first Range Rover walk around on the channel. So we're starting off with the Evoque. Of course, you gotta start with the baby Range Rover. Now I'm on the Range Rover website, so I'm gonna build one out and kind of show you guys what options you can get on your Evoque, what colors they come in, interior, exterior, all the goodies. So we're starting off with the S. There's 2 different models. You either have the S or you have the Dynamic SE, and my Dynamic SE video is coming soon. They're pretty much both the same thing. The Dynamic SE give you a little more sportier appearance and you get like the slight little features, but they're really the same thing. Range Rover is known for having multiple different engine options in their vehicles, but for 26, the Evoque has one engine, the 2-liter 4-cylinder. That's pretty much it. So pretty much your basic is going to be the Shadow Atlas exterior styling. And I couldn't really show you guys that because the one I did had the black, I think it had the black styling package or something like that, so everything's blacked out. But this is how your standard Evoque will look. You have a sliding panoramic moonroof, which is standard. You have the signature LED headlamps. You have the auto high beam assist. I didn't get to show you guys the 18s that the S comes with, the 5074 wheels, because the one I did had the optional 20s, and they're the 1085 styling wheels. But you have the grain leather seat facing, which is interesting. You have the 12-way driver memory, 10-way passenger electric seats. And I didn't mention this in the video either. The passenger seat has the same adjustment as the driver's seat, but you can't tilt it up and down. So that's why the passenger is a 10 and the driver is a 12. It's interesting why Range Rover did that. But you gotta remember, this is the smallest SUV you can get in the lineup. This is the entry level, so this is where we start from. So you're not gonna get all the goodies. Heated front seats, Meridian sound system, interactive driver display, wireless charging. So let's take a look at some colors. So you have Fuji White, which on the S is no premium charge at all. So Fuji White looked like it's the only solid color option. And if you go over here, you have, let's see what we got here. You got Santorini Black. Hopefully I said that right. That's a $950 charge. Corinthian Bronze. Wow. Range Rover, you're going to kill me with these colors, man. Look at, like, what? Orizo's Gray? I can't pronounce nothing. You got Tribeca Blue. And then you got Soul Pearl Silver. Hint, the SE I did is actually in this pink color. It's actually a cool color in person. And then Eager Gray. So all of these are they all 950? Yeah, they're all 950. We're gonna stick with the Fuji White because that's the one we did. And you even have premium metallic. So you have, yeah, I'm not gonna pronounce that, but you have a more premium pearl and then a premium gray, which is $1,500. Interesting. And you can even choose your roof color. So the package that I did have an optional gloss black roof. So the black contrast roof is what Range Rover calls it, $600. You can also get a bronze roof. Interesting. It's an interesting look. I did not mean to go inside. I wanted to turn the car around. Yeah, there we go. That's interesting. And then you have your standard body colored roof. So my model had the Fuji White with the black contrast roof. Here are some visual packs you can add. So the package that I did review does have this black exterior styling package. So if you get this package, it pretty much, let me see, gloss black Range Rover, bonnet script, so that's blacked out. The grille's gloss black surround, gloss black front valence, gloss black side vents, gloss black Range Rover tailgate script, gloss black rear valance. And when you do add the black exterior styling pack, I don't know if I mentioned in the video, I think I did, you get the black brake calipers as well. So we're gonna add that guy because we do have that package, and it completely changes. We'll confirm that. It completely changes the look of the Range Rover. See, everything's all blacked out now. So that's cool. Let's go back to the front. And here are your optional wheels. Look how many wheels you have to choose from. You have two different 18s. You have the 19s. You have 20s. You can even get 21s. But I believe mine's is the 1058, which is 1085. I keep saying 1058. 1085. So they're 20-inch style, 1085 gloss black wheels. But you have plenty of different options. So you have the black 18s, which is for 250. Then you can go up to the 19s, and these are the 5136 gloss black. Those are about 1,050, and then 20s are about 1,850. So interesting. And look at the 21s. How much are the 21s? These things, what do you lose? Oh, add as a result in the following charge. Oh, so if you add those wheels, it also adds a dynamic handling pack. Interesting. So we're not gonna put that on there. I just want to see what it looks like. But I guess you have to add the package to see what it looks like. So let's add the package, see what it looks like. Okay, these are pretty premium. The black, pretty premium. We're gonna go back to this guy though. Remove that dynamic handling package. So yeah, but Range Rover, there's so many different options, you know. And this is just Evoque. This is the baby Range Rover. When you get up there, the customization gets crazy. So let's look at the interior trim. You have the green leather. You either can get the ebony, which that's the model we looked at, or you can get the cloud ebony, which I've seen this in person. It's actually pretty cool. And both of them, there are no charge These are finishers. Oh, I didn't even notice the finishers. I don't think I mentioned this in the video. So you have the shallow gray ash, and then you have the dark anodized trim finisher. I'm not sure what the model I did has. I think it's the shallow gray. I'm not too sure. I'll probably have to re-look at the video. Let me double check. I went back and checked the video. I think it had the dark anodized trim finisher, which you don't have to pay for. I didn't see no patterns on it. And then you can get the optional technology package. So this will add, I think, a heads-up display. And okay, yeah. So it adds a clear sight interior rearview mirror, pretty much a digital rearview mirror, and it adds a heads-up display and the 3D surround camera. The model I have did not have the technology package. You have the dynamic handling package, which if you get the 21s, you get this package automatically. Oh, this will allow you to customize your drive. So your suspension, steering, engine, even the gear shift. That's interesting. So configurable and adaptive dynamics. Interesting. Like I said, this is way more different than I'm used to. You guys probably see on this channel, I have a lot of Hondas and Acuras walkarounds, and those vehicles, you don't build them up like this. They're one size fit all. You choose a trim, everything's in it, that's it. This is a whole new field for me, but I'm here to learn because we're gonna do every Range Rover. So it is what it is. You have the comfort pack, which mine don't have as well. So so this is for the cambit lighting. So 2-zone climate controls with second row vents and temperature control. Oh, okay, so you get controls in the second row and you get the air purification plus. Okay, interesting. And then 10 configurable options. So that's the comfort pack. You have the they have so many options. Cold climate pack. So this gives you a heated windshield, heated washer jets, headlight with power wash, and a heated rear seats. So that's for $980. You have the emergency pack, so I'm sure there's like first aid kit and gloves and stuff like that. So yeah, so a lot of goodies. Look at this. You got the rear seat convenience pack, and this give you 2 click and go base, click and hang, click and hook. Interesting. So for your suits and stuff you want to put back there, you can, handbags, groceries, pretty universal. You can add that on there for $265. Not too bad. And then you have the interior protection storage, and I skipped one because you have the premium interior protection and storage pack. So there's 2 different packs here. So this one, this gives you the rubber mat set, the cargo space rubber mat, and then a cargo carrier. And I wonder what this one gives you. This one probably gives you, just the cargo space rubber mat and the rubber mat set. If you're still with me, I appreciate you because I know this is a lot. You have, let me see, the wheel protection pack and the black wheel protection pack. I think this model had the black wheel protection pack as well. Yeah, I think it has that. And what else? Is it just the wheel locks? $525 for wheel locks. So lug nuts and the valve stem. Interesting. So you have the exterior protection package. The model I reviewed also had this. So mud flaps. Yeah. How's that a pack though? Is it just one item? Yeah, I'm surprised they call that front and rear. I guess because it's more than one item. It's 4 splash offs. Not too sure. And then a hand over pack. What is that? Vacuum flask. Oh, that's fancy with a loop keyring. Okay, that's pretty fancy. All right, so here's some additional options. You have the 3D surround camera. Now, my model does have this, and I didn't really get to show you guys. I didn't really get to show you guys the feature. I showed you it when you put it in reverse how it looks, but if I would have hit camera, you were able to kind of spin around the car. Did it have? Yeah, it had the 3D surround camera. Now, that feature is standard on the SE Dynamic, but it's an optional here on the S. And then you have the Wi-Fi enabled with data plan. I don't think we had this guy. No, but that is an option. And that's pretty much it. So my MSRP is coming out to $56,455. And that's with all the options. So you have the black roof, you have the black styling package, you have the 20s, you have the splash guards or the mud flaps, you have the wheel lock. What am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing something, but you can customize your Evoque and it can come out to many different prices. But if you go all the way, let's go all the way up. It starts around 49.9. And I don't think that includes destination handling. If you want to go up to the Dynamic SE, that's around 55,100. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. What you think about the Evoque. Like I said, this is my first Range Rover on the channel, so I'm sure I missed a few goodies, but we're gonna get the hang of it. We're gonna do a bunch of these Range Rovers. We're gonna do all of them. I think, in my opinion, for the size, if someone wants like just a small Range Rover, this is definitely a way to go, especially if you're by yourself, or maybe you have one kid, or maybe it's just you and your significant other, or yeah, like I said, you by yourself, you want something premium with small but still some power. I think the Evoque is a good option. Before actually we go, I want to show you guys something. So one thing about Range Rover is it's off-road ready. So you get a bunch of goodies. I think I explained some of this in the video already, but you can see here, look at all of this is all standard on the Evoque. So terrain response to all terrain progress control, torque vectoring by braking, low traction launch, hill descent control. All of this is all standard passive suspension, standard on your Evoque, without even adding any packages, because Range Rover, have that heritage of being a luxury off-roader. So even down to their smallest SUV, they throw in all these off-road goodies. But yeah, drop a comment below. Let's talk about the Range Rover. Would you rather go with something else? Would you rather go with a competition, or maybe the SE Dynamic, or maybe this is too small? You rather the Discovery, or maybe the Velar? Let me know what you guys think. Let's talk about it. If I missed anything, drop a comment below too. Thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next walk around.